Survival of the fittest on console. ARK creatures stolen. And introducing the ARK 2 Carno. You right, kids, it's Raasclark and welcome to your regular ARK community news. Before we begin, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe, share around, and let's get into it. So, the community crunch dropped last night, and as we speculated might happen, did indeed reveal a brand new creature to the ARK 2 game when we get it, the Carnotaurus. It's there, confirmed in the flesh, in concept form created by Jesus Condi, Clayton DeMello, Catherine Rakitka, and Vic DeLeon. Certainly the TLC you've asked for a long time. The Carno has been perhaps one of the most heavily requested TLC creatures in ARK's history, and you're gonna get it when it arrives in ARK 2, sporting again a more hornier look about it, certainly in keeping with the previous creatures teased, such as the Brachio, the Stego, and the Ankylo concepts. In fact, the head horns are far more prominent than they were with the previous ARK 1 iteration. I tried to get a similar looking pose, and you can see a big, vast difference there. Good grief, ARK 1 looks a bit like a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle. And what certainly caught a lot of people's eye is the size comparison, again with a raptor like we've seen in ARK 2 trailers before, which I double checked as a few people thought this might be an Arker or a different creature altogether, but it seems very similar to the raptor concepts we've seen before. But the size certainly looks a bit off. Either the raptor is smaller or the Carno is bigger when you compare it to ARK 1. But then again, looking at a size comparison of the ARK 1 creatures, when you actually put them side by side, I don't think there's too much in it. Going back to the original concept, yeah, maybe a few centimeters here or there, not a lot, but hopefully the Carno is a bit bigger, meaner, more powerful, ferocious foe, as it certainly deserves to be. And again, with this spiky, horny concept that seems to be adopting across all images released, it's a wonder, is it quite a lonesome planet? Once again, it had the word monthly within the file name, leading us to believe that yet again we will get another creature, this time next month. I guess to expect more as the year goes on and until we get some actual ARK 2 news. Feel like it's definitely a way off yet, folks, before we see some proper in-game gameplay now. Hopefully around E3 especially, seeing I'm going there now. Jezza Jeremy, co-founder of Studio Wildcard, you might have noticed, put out a tweet in the middle of the week talking about a particular Channel 5 original documentary presented by Stephen Fry about dinosaurs with some very similar looking creatures within this TV series. Hello, Titanosaur! You just saw it there. And they kept on going with a Stego reveal that looks very, very similar to the original Stego that was in ARK 1. I think somebody has certainly slipped up out there. In fact, Jeremy went on to say, in reply to somebody saying, are they legally able to use these models? They're not. Lawsuits becoming Channel 5. Somebody somewhere out there has obviously had a free asset library for people to use, and they've just picked them out and didn't double check their facts. But oh dear, it wouldn't be the first time either. Anybody remember this thing, the Forest Titan in the Guardians of Time trailer, which we haven't really heard much about since. I guess we won't, it's all legal stuff, but there's no denying there's a bit of an issue here. So, Survival of the Fittest finally dropped on console this week. Well, on Xbox anyway. And surprisingly is built into the base ARK 1 game as a new option to simply play SOTF. A great feature I was hoping to see happen when this dropped. I appreciate perhaps in prototype form they weren't quite sure what they were going to do when it dropped on console, but it's probably the best move they can do to draw players into playing this new mode, especially seeing a lot of people still don't actually know what this is, despite me shouting about it as much as I can. Trailers, marketing, wildcard, need more of it please. But sadly, yes, PlayStation players, you get that end of the stick once again. It was announced that due to some issues with the ARK version, they're going to release the PlayStation launch next week. An obvious shame to see, but I do understand Xbox is experiencing a lot of issues crashing wise specifically, and to be honest, either way, however you get it, you can't do crossplay anyway. It was announced crossplay won't be included in the initial launch, but they'll provide an update on crossplay in the ARK roadmap that we're going to get next month. Super sucks to see this. I was really looking forward for finally all ARK players from all platforms all getting together and having this crossplay, especially to help raise the status of this new mode. But we're going to have to wait a few more weeks for when exactly that's going to actually be released. It feels like it's going to be months in the making. I don't know. But either way, I guess it allows for a level playing field between console and PC users. Furthermore, a patch dropped just in time before this Xbox released, rebalancing the game once again, and in fact, perhaps making it the most balanced I've seen yet. No more gigas for a guaranteed win. Well, you still see the odd one or two, but in the recent games that I've played, it was very random. It was very varied on what exactly went through to the final. Two of the bosses, the Broodmother and Megapithecus, have had vast improvements and still feel pretty fairly balanced. Carno's had a 100% bleed damage improvement, and I'm hoping to see more of them on the battlefield, with yes, a bunch of nerfs on the Giga and the Car, and a few on the UT as well. A much needed patch, and again just in time. The response from Xbox players seems to be quite varied. A lot of you are enjoying it. There are a few complaints on top, but either way, there's going to be another tournament qualifiers tonight. I hope to see you there. Shouted out by Wildcard themselves, and thank you very much for that. Tonight is the last qualifiers of this $1,000 tournament to go through to the finals next week. And sadly, yes, console players, crossplay can't happen, but I do hope we get to explore another one when crossplay finally arrives. And finally, just a big shout out and goodbye to Tony Thick44 from Neebs Gaming, who sadly recently passed away. If you know me, you know ARK, you know Neebs Gaming. They are by far one of the biggest, most entertaining group of people to cover ARK Survival Evolved. Thick was perhaps the most influential cog to them actually covering ARK. Didn't know that until Wildcard addressed that. And just what a wonderful dynamic of people that a lot of you search your whole lives for, to bounce off each other like the way these guys do. And I know it goes without saying that Thick will certainly be missed by not just Neebs, the entire ARK gaming community. A lot of you got into ARK through these guys, through Thick, and it's just a massive blow to people who were directly inspired, me myself included. Wouldn't be doing Monarchy without these guys, wouldn't be doing Monarchy without Thick44 behind it. And as a father myself, I know the team are raising money for his surviving daughters. I'll leave a link to that GoFundMe in the description. I'm sure you'll want to do what you can to support such an awesome, loving guy. And just rest in peace, dude. And there we go, people. That's your ARK news for today. Another ARK 2 creature released. Hopefully another one next month. And I'll see you later on tonight at the last qualifiers. I'm sure it's going to be epic, full of shouting, and I'll lose my voice. Until then, my name's Raasclark. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And as always, peace out.